Hi everyone. Today we're going to learn chapter 1, which is the introduction to science. Science is part of everyday life. What is science? Science is the systematic method of gathering knowledge about the universe. So, what is a scientific method? Now, when carrying out a scientific method, we need to have systematic observations, measurements that are conducted, experiments, and finally modification of the hypothesis. Now I'll be explaining all of these in the next part of this chapter. Using science, we are able to explain how living organisms work. So here's a picture of a very cute kitten, and using science we'll be able to explain how a kitten's system works, how it uses energy to move, how it uses its muscles to move, how it reproduces, and things like that. To know about a cell, to the relationship between living things, which is the relationship between, for example, a bee with a flower. Moving along, the relationship between non-living things and living things. For example, the relationship between air and human beings, the relationship between water and plants. The fifth one, which is the formation of day and night. Natural phenomena, which is something we're going to look at later on, and the origin of the universe. So, natural phenomena. These are some examples of a natural phenomena: rotation of the earth, snow, volcanic eruption. So, what do you notice about these pictures? Can they be produced by humans? Clearly not. Can you give me some other examples of natural phenomena? So, what other things that you know of are not produced by humans? So let's look at some examples. Natural disasters, for example, lightning, drought, earthquake, volcanic eruption, which is the picture I showed you earlier. Development of an embryo into a fetus. Development of a baby into an adult. See, all of these things humans have no control over. Formation of seeds and fruits in plants, the fall of objects due to gravity, and the occurrence of day and night. The importance of science. Science has provided us with the basic modern technology, such as tools, materials, techniques, and sources of power that make our lives and work a lot easier. Now, in terms of communication, we have things such as satellites, computers, telephones, and very importantly, the internet, which has made communication a lot easier, and it has brought distances closer together between human beings. Now, in terms of agriculture, science has brought about, through biotechnology and genetic engineering, it has brought better varieties of plants. Now, what does it mean by having better varieties of plants? It means now that these days a tree can produce larger numbers of fruit. It can produce bigger sized fruits. It can also produce more colorful fruits, for example. Now, in terms of medicine, we have, through science, we have new surgical techniques which have saved millions of lives. Life-saving machines, for example, we have machines now that can carry out functions of the lungs, the kidney, and the heart. And most importantly, antibiotics. Now, antibiotics has saved a lot of lives because it has helped to stop bacterial infections. Food processing methods, now canning, pasteurization, radiation. The importance of science in food processing methods can be seen in the usage of canning, pasteurization, and radiation. Now, all of these methods can help prevent food spoilage, extend the lifespan of food, and to avoid wastage of food. Now, in terms of construction, buildings, bridges, and airports that are built these days with the advancement of science in construction are much bigger and much stronger. Now, the different fields of science. Geology is the study of the earth, which includes rocks, sand, and minerals. Now, it's not necessarily the earth, but it can also be the study of rocks, sand, and minerals in Mars or in the moon, for example. Biology is the study of life and of living organisms, whereby we look at the structure, the function, the growth, and the evolution of these organisms. Botany is the study of plants and their structure. Meteorology is the study of climate and the atmosphere. Very clearly we can see this in weather forecast, for example. Ecology is the interaction between organisms and the environment. Astronomy will be the study of galaxies, planets, the moon, the stars, etc. Physics is the study of matter, energy, and natural forces. And finally, chemistry. We look at the structure of substances, how substances combine, and the reactions in different situations. Next, we will look at the careers related to science. In terms of medicine, of course, the careers that are related will be doctors, forensic scientists, nurses, and lecturers. Biology leads to teachers and lecturers. Botany, now people who have studied botany will then move on to become research officers, estate managers, and a botanist. People who have studied architecture move on to become engineers or an architect. In terms of astronomy, they can become an astronaut, an astronomist, or a research officer. People who have studied biotechnology will then move on to become a biotechnologist, a nutritionist, maybe even a lecturer, a research officer, or a regulatory officer. People who have studied pharmacy will then move on to become a pharmacist. Those who have studied physics will become teachers, lecturers, or a physicist. Chemistry will then become a chemist or a teacher or a lecturer. And geology will then become a geologist or a researcher.